everyone, I'm glad you're here. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Today is November 5th, 2022. People probably don't realize the amount of United States land that is being bought up by foreign governments. Big controversy recently about China buying some farmland close to one of our national defense bases there in North Dakota. But there was another article I read today how there in Arizona, water levels are really critical. The aquifer levels under Windon and Salome County have dropped hundreds of feet since the 1950s. Private residential wells started running dry in 2015. Wells belonging to nearby farms were drilled much deeper and will have access to the water longer. Well, evidently these farms, many of them, are owned by Saudi Arabia. They've recently cut back on oil production, trying to get as much money as they can, but yet they're taking our water, our cattle, etc. Back in 2018, Saudi Arabia, in its own country, finalized a ban on growing thirsty crops like alfalfa and hay to feed livestock and cattle. The reason was simple. The arid Middle East, also struggling with climate change-fueled drought, is running out of water, and agriculture is a huge consumer. So these foreign governments, what are they doing? They're coming to the United States. One company, Al Maria, which owns about 10,000 acres of farmland in Arizona, under its subsidiary, Juan De Monte, I might be pronouncing that wrong, is one of the biggest players in the Middle East dairy supply. The company also owns 3,500 acres in agricultural heavy Southern California, according to public land records, where they use the Colorado River water to irrigate their crops. Al-Mari took an extra step in buying farmland abroad. Most of their cattle feed is purchased on the open market, though. As part of a growing trend in foreign-owned farmland in the U.S., foreign-owned farmland in the West increased from about 1.25 million acres in 2010 to nearly 3 million acres in 2020. One of Saudi Arabia's subsidiaries, Van Monte, owned Vicksburg Ranch near Somalia, is massive. The company spent $47 million to buy nearly 10,000 acres of land in 2014 and leases additional farmland from the state. They evidently grow alfalfa there, and the alfalfa is eventually shipped to feed cattle in Saudi Arabia. In line with the Saudi government, they have a new directive towards conserving local resources. So they're coming to the United States and using ours. Juan De Monte evidently decided to invest in the southwest United States, just as hundreds of other agricultural businesses have become the high-quality soil and climate conditions that allow growing of some of the finest quality wheat in the world. There is nothing legal about foreign-owned farming in the U.S., and many American farmers use the West waters to grow crops, which are eventually exported around the globe. Cynthia Campbell, Water Resource Management Advisor for the City of Phoenix, has been watching the La Paz County water situation with frustration. Phoenix currently gets most of its water from local rivers and the Central Arizona Project, which diverts Colorado River water to Phoenix and Tucson. But it could use rural groundwater as a safety net in the coming years if the city's primary sources are further restricted. That is, if there's any groundwater left by them. We are literally exporting our economy overseas, Campbell said. I'm sorry, but there's no Saudi Arabia milk coming back to Southern California or Arizona. The value of that agricultural output is not coming through in value to the U.S. An article I found from 2019 says that the latest data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, which may be understated even back then, showed that 28.3 million acres of U.S. agriculture and timberland are owned by foreign investors. Maine back then was the most owned foreign entities with 3.1 million acres. Texas was next with 3 million acres, followed by Alabama, Washington, and Michigan. Canada is the biggest foreign owner of U.S. agriculture and timberland and owns 4.7 million acres in the United States. The Netherlands is the second largest foreign owner with 4.6 million acres. China has doubled its ownership of U.S. land at 190,000 acres. I'm sure it's a lot more now. With China's Smithfield Pork owning the largest shares, 140,000 acres. Brazil is another large U.S. land owner, and Luxembourg is the fastest growing foreign land owner, all of it forest land. Alabama has its share of foreign real estate investments, but almost all of its agricultural land rather than homes and condos. The Netherlands and Canada top the list of Alabama's foreign land owners. Italy, the United Kingdom, and Germany round out the top 5. In Alabama, almost all foreign-owned agricultural property is in the forest, with Butler County having the most at 150,000 acres. Dallas County has the most foreign investments in acreage of crops at 2,189 acres, according to a 2009 U.S. Department of Agricultural report. Foreign investors own more than 1.7 million acres of Alabama agricultural land, which is the third highest amount among U.S. states and represents 2.7% of all privately held agricultural land in the United States. The reason most cited by foreign entities for buying U.S. farmlands is to ensure their food security. Yeah, they're saving their resources. They're saving their water for themselves. While ravaging the United States. As of 2019, 6 states had banned foreign ownership of U.S. farmlands. Hawaii, Iowa, Minnesota, Mississippi, North Dakota. Well, I guess North Dakota changed that because now China has land there. And Oklahoma. Missouri and Ohio are considering limiting foreign ownership of their state agricultural lands. In a campaign stop, this land buy-up, U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts suggested she would support federal legislation similar to the ban in Iowa. I don't know if that still stands. I doubt if it does. So why are we allowing these foreign governments to use up our resources? We continue to help other countries, but they flat out refuse to help us. Like I said, Saudi Arabia has cut back in oil production. They flat out refuse to help the United States in our man-made shortages. When we shut down so much of our own oil and gas productions. Another article I found from last year, 2021, it says the biggest share of foreign bought land is now Texas, with over 4.4 million acres, and then followed by Maine at 3.3 acres, Alabama at 1.8 million acres, and over 40% of additional 3.4 million acres acquired by foreign investors in 2019. Another article I found from August of this year, it says a Chinese company recently acquired 300 acres in North Dakota for $2.6 million, according to the company. It intends to establish a milling plant. It also says here the USDA's latest data shows China owns over 191,000 acres of the U.S. land, but that was before the North Dakota land sale, spring of this year. In many of these countries, we are not allowed to buy their land. We can't buy land in China. Can we buy it in Saudi Arabia? I doubt if we can. So what are your thoughts? Please put your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.